Hey guys, it's FanFans47 here with a quick overview and demonstration of my Kenmore model 796.41392.511 high efficiency front load washing machine. Now this is a LG made model, so it does have the inverter direct drive motor with 6 motion, and it also does have turbo wash, or as Kenmore likes to call it, Accela wash. And so yeah, let's just get right into it. We'll start with the most obvious part of the machine, which is right here. The wash basin. Now this is a 4.5 cubic foot size. It can hold up to 17 kilograms of clothes with a maximum spin speed of 1300 RPM. I'll go ahead and open the door here so I can show you the tub in more detail. Here it is. You can see it does feature LG's famous Never Rust drum, and it has those wavy pads in it. It also has this really interesting texture to just the basin itself. You can see it has all these bumps in it and stuff. It's kind of a cool design, and it's really effective for scrubbing the clothes out quite well. So yeah, I'll go ahead and zoom in on the information here as well. There you go, there's the serial and everything. And yeah, there you go. So there's the tub itself. Here's the door. It's got a classic LG door with the tinted outside, which I'm not a huge fan of. And it does have the inner glass right here, as you can see. Moving on down here to the bottom corner of the machine. Go ahead and open up this little compartment here. This right here is a drain hose that extends out, as you can see. So this is for draining the machine whenever you need to clean the coin trap, which is conveniently placed right next to it. Here, I'll go ahead and put this back first. There you go. You can see it just kind of snaps into this little arm right here. Right next to that, as you can see, is the coin trap, so that just screws out and you can clean that out whenever you need to. It's always good to drain the machine first, or water is going to go everywhere. And trust me, I've learned that the hard way. So there's that. Moving on up here to the control board. You can see you have your power and start buttons. And then up here is the cycle selector. I'll go ahead and go over what all these cycles mean. So starting off on the left here, the normal cycle, that's what you would use for just a standard everyday wash cycle with colored clothes, or cottons, or mixed fabrics, and stuff like that. And then the bulky bedding cycle, that's for obviously bedding, where it will do a slightly slower speed final spin as to not damage the machine. And it is a slightly longer wash cycle and uses a higher water level. Kids wear, that speaks for itself. Heavy duty, that's like a normal cycle with more heavy wash motions, and that will automatically set the soil level to heavy. And whites is basically a normal cycle, but it uses bleach, and it also has a short anti-crease at the end of the cycle. Moving on over to the right side of the control knob. Workout wear, that's for like lighter clothes that you would work out in, obviously. And it's like a delicate cycle, but it adds in-turn spins. Express wash is just like a normal cycle. You use that for cottons, but it shortens the wash cycle to about 15 minutes. But this can depend on the other parameters you set. Cold clean is basically Kenmore's version of LG's cold wash, where it uses intensive 6-motion technology to simulate what it would be like to wash clothes in warm water, but it's only using cold water. And delicates, that's a wash cycle that uses more delicate motions for ideally lighter loads. And rinse and spin speaks for itself. Moving on over here to the cycle modifiers. You can see we have the wash temp right here. If you read it carefully, it does say all cold rinses. There are some higher end model Kenmores and LGs out there that do have warm rinses, but this just doesn't happen to be one of them. So for wash temperatures, you have hot, warm, cool, cold, and tap cold. The exact temperatures will depend on your house water heater setting, as this doesn't have an internal heater. And for spin speeds, you have ranging from no spin, low, medium, high, and extra high. Now, normally, low is, I believe it's 500 RPM, medium is 600 RPM, High is 1200 RPM and extra high is the max 1300 RPM. But this will all depend on the load you put in it, as the machine will limit itself if it needs to. And soil level, that's really a matter of how dirty your clothes are. So whatever you set that to, that will basically increase or decrease the heaviness of the motions, and it will also affect water level as well. And then you have your chime option, off, soft, and loud, and then you have your diagnostics LED, which lights up when the machine is in service mode. You can see up above, you do have your door lock symbol, so that lights up when the door is locked, obviously. Then you have your cycle markers, you have load sensing, wash, rinse, and the final spin. And then you do have a LED display to show the time remaining. And then over here, I'll go ahead and zoom in more because these are quite small. You do have Wash, which, like I was mentioning earlier, that's basically turbo wash. And you have extra rinse. I believe you can do up to, I think it's 4 extra rinses. I'll verify that here. No, I'll just verify it right now. I hardly ever use it. So 1, 2, 3. So you can go up to 3 extra rinses. And if you hold that button in, you can see on the bottom there it says control lock. So that's like a child lock, so the controls will become disabled. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about the Wash button is that that also has a similar thing. If you hold the button in, it turns on this thing called auto soak. And what that does is that it will do these really, really slow tumbles and pause for a really long time in between and use the water recirculation system to soak the clothes. Now, whenever you turn on auto soak, the pre-wash will be disabled as the auto soak is used in place of that. So pre-wash is actually the button right below extra rinse, as you can see. So that just adds an extra wash cycle before the main wash and uses quicker tumbles. And delay start is a feature where you can set the number of hours before the machine actually starts the wash cycle. And then you have your clean washer / stay fresh button. So clean washer is basically just the tub clean cycle where it will disable all the balance sensors and you can put anything in the tub that you need to help clean it, like a fresh or whatever you use. And you can see it also says stay fresh, which that is basically a anti-crease. So if you have that enabled, the machine will continuously tumble back and forth for up to 19 hours after the load is finished. So that's a really nice touch if you have clothes that crease very easily. And then you have your add garments button, which is basically a second pause button, which I don't really see the point of because you can just use the start pause button anyway. So yeah. So that's really it for the control board. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the camera off of the tripod so I can show you the detergent drawer. Here it is right here. Just opens right up like that, you can see. High efficiency. So in here you have your main wash and pre-wash dispensers, and then you have your liquid bleach and fabric softener up here. And this right here actually comes out, by the way. Why? I don't know. You can see it's stained very badly inside there because this thing has been put to use for quite a while. I've had this thing for about, I want to say 5 years now, and I really haven't had any problems with it. The only minor issue that's aroused with this is this. If you listen carefully, sometimes it doesn't do it. But sometimes, it's not doing it right now, but sometimes the suspension gets a bit squeaky. So yeah. So now I'm going to do a quick demonstration of this machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into service mode so I can just quickly show you all the functions that this machine can do. So in order to put it into service mode, what we're going to do is we're going to click the power button and we're going to click spin speed and soil level all at the same time. So now what it's doing is it's basically just doing an LED test. And I have my phone pulled up right here. The door just locks as well. I have my phone pulled up right here so I can say what all the cycles are. So the first time I push the start button, it's going to do a clockwise tumble rotation. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate that. There we go. You can see it's tumbling clockwise. I'll go ahead and zoom in here so you can see the action. And then you can see on the display here, it shows the RPM. You can see 50 RPM. Nice and quiet direct drive motor. Now if I push the button the second time, it's going to go into a low speed 600 RPM spin. Notice it turns on the drain pump. So there you go, there's 600 RPM. Now I'm going to click the button again, and it's going to go into a high-speed 1200 RPM spin. So now it's spinning at about 1200 RPM, or 1150 to be exact. The inverter motor is super quiet on this thing. I can barely hear it from the next room. Now I'm going to click the play button again, and it's going to turn on the pre-wash valve. So first it's going to slow down and come to a complete stop. Nice spring brake. So there we go, there's the pre-wash right there. Now you won't see it filling because this machine fills from the bottom. Now I'm going to push it again, and the main wash valve is going to come on. There's the main wash valve, and if you look closely inside, you can see the water starting to pool up. You might actually be able to see it. Not even zoomed in. Yeah, you can kind of see it at the bottom there. And now I'm going to push it again. It's going to activate the hot water valve. So there's the hot water valve now filling. Next press is going to turn on the bleach pump. Now this one you actually might be able to see because this one actually fills. This is the only inlet that fills from the top. Now we'll go ahead and push it again. I believe with this one it turns on the recirculation, but we'll see. Oh, no, it's tumbling counterclockwise. So there you go, you got some nice wash action. Next push should be the recirculation pump. There it is. So you can see the water basically jets out the sides. And this is basically what turbo wash is. It basically uses recirculation to make up for the lack of water that's in the drum, because this machine can only fill with so much water for it to be high efficiency rated. Now for this next one, I don't think you'll be able to see anything in the drum because I believe this is a thermistor check. We'll go ahead and see. Oh, nope, it's draining. I guess this one doesn't have a thermistor check. So we're just going to wait for that to finish. And you can see the water pressure reading. Just going to wait for this to finish draining. Now it's taking a while because Remember, I used every single valve to fill this machine up to, like, above its high efficiency level. So there you go. When you hear the water stop pumping, that means it's safe to turn it off. So we'll just hit this button again, and the door unlocks. And there you go. There's a little bit of standing water in there, and I was kind of thinking that would happen because that usually happens on the service mode, but I'll deal with that later. It's probably just leftover bleach. And another really cool feature about this machine is this door. You can actually leave it open a crack without having it all the way open and tripping people. Because if you close it just enough, it has this magnet that catches, and it just closes like that. So that's really cool if you want to air out the machine, but at the same time, keep the door out of the way. So that's really nice. Well, anyway, that's going to conclude this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and that will be it. FanofFans47 signing off.